Okay, F1 in this morning, we've got the Alfa Romeo F1 Team Stake 2023 car launch live, and we'll have to see how this goes, guys, because, yeah, it's taken a little bit of finding. I'm not going to lie, it took a little bit of finding, and it was only a few minutes ago that actually I found this live stream. Need to just slightly move. Oh, I'm destroying the illusion. Good morning, Gled. How are we doing? We've got 8 minutes until the launch. I wasn't sure if there was going to be an actual live launch of the car this morning or whether it was just going to be pictures released on Twitter. But luckily, we got the live stream. So looking at my screens now, you guys are about 6 seconds behind. So you're going to see it as soon, basically, as I see it. So let's have a chat. Let's see what we think. Now, I suppose a question that we can have this morning. Now, will we see a 2023 car today? Now, they've sort of said that it's a car launch, but they've also said a livery launch. So I really don't know, Gled. I really don't know. I'm hoping we're going to see sort of themes of a new car, and on that actually I'll find 2022 Alfa Romeo Abu Dhabi. I'll get a picture for myself up ready of the car in Abu Dhabi so that we might be able to do a fairly quick comparison, you know. And I've actually found a really good picture. It's a top-down quality. It's on their website. Yeah, so it gives us a good thing that we can compare to. I hope I'm feeling better. I'm feeling a lot better. I'm not perfect yet, but I'm feeling a lot better than I was because I've been really blooming ill, really ill. That absolutely sucks. But I'm excited for another F1 launch. Where are we? We've had Red Bull, we've had Williams, we've had Haas, and now we've got Alfa Romeo. Now, the next one, actually, we've got 2 in one day on the 13th of February, where we'll be having Aston Martin and McLaren on the same day, and then Ferrari the day after, Mercedes the day after that, and then Alpine the day after that. So when is the 13th? The 13th is Monday. So on Monday, we've got 2 launches, which is Aston Martin and McLaren. You'll remember that Aston Martin did actually show us something new last season. And then we've got McLaren on Monday as well. Then next Tuesday, we've got Ferrari. And next Wednesday, we have Mercedes. And next Thursday, we have Alpine. And then the week after that, they'll be in Bahrain in the first test. So it's happening. It's all happening, guys. I feel like people haven't been notified this morning, but it's interesting to see. Now, do we think, I've got a question for you guys. Do you think Zhou Guanyu is F1 quality, F1 standard? Do you think he's good enough? How do you rate him? What do you guys think of him? I'd love to know your thoughts. I think he's quite competent. He seems to be improving. I don't think he's ever going to be an F1 world champion, but does he deserve a place in F1? I think probably he does, but I don't think he's ever going to set the world alight, right? He's one of those drivers that will probably end up being in the midfield for a good few years, I reckon. But he doesn't strike me as someone who could probably do something one day particularly special, you know. Maybe he becomes a bit of a, I don't know, I was just about to say a bit of a Hulkenberg, but I suppose a bit of like Perez before Red Bull or something like that. I'm unsure. I'd love to know your opinion on Zhou. But then again, I don't think he's done very bad, has he? To be fair, I think I'm being harsh. Standings. Let me have a quick look at the standings again from last year. I don't think he did too badly. But then again, I'm talking absolute nonsense. He got 12 points to Bottas's 49. But then again, you expect Bottas to be really quite good, right? Now, this is an interesting one there's an interesting one here, actually, that I've not really considered and I've not looked at before, actually. So last season, Bottas got 49 points, right? And Guan Yu Zhou got 6 points. Have I got that right? Oh, has it started? I don't know what's happening. Is it started? What's going on here? Is it crashed? What's going on? Oh, I don't know what happened there. You know what? Actually, I'm going to throw this out there, because we've got Zhou with 6 points, right? And you've got Bottas with 49. I don't know why I read it as 12, right? You've got Bottas with 49. And Zhou was outscored by Mick Schumacher. Mick Schumacher in that house got twice the amount of points. And Mick Schumacher was much closer to Kevin Magnussen than Zhou was to Bottas. So does Zhou deserve to be in Formula One? Would you keep him in Formula One? I wonder if he brings a lot of sponsorship money to Alfa Romeo. I think he's got quite a big beer sponsorship, right? Quite a big sort of Chinese beer sponsorship. I'm not entirely sure, if I'm honest, what it is that he's bringing to the team. But I feel like there must be what is it? Zingha beer. I feel like he must have quite a lot of personal sponsorship. I don't even know if it is beer. I'm saying it's beer. Singha. Yeah, it is. It is beer. It's Thai. It's Thai beer. And I feel like he must bring some personal sponsorship to the team that's keeping him in there, because now we know, well, we knew anyway, that Robert Kubica was bringing in Orlen, which were the team's principal sponsor, and in return he got some free practice sessions, and that's gone now. They've got a new principal sponsorship now. Please do make sure you're hitting that like button, guys. It really, really helps. Get involved in the chat as well. The more people chat and the more people that hit that like button, the better the stream will do. We've got just over a minute until we see that. Do you think we're going to see a 2023 car? What do you think? Let me know in chat. I don't think we're going to. I'd like to, but I don't think we're going to, honestly. Less than a minute to go now, though. Looking forward to it. You don't. You don't think we're going to see. You don't think we're going to see a new car. Thank you for the likes there, guys. Just 30 seconds to go now. As long as the reveal isn't as cringe as the Red Bull launch. Well, the Williams one was great. The Williams one was really, really good. I don't think you'll get many like the Red Bull launch, honestly. I think Mercedes might be a little bit longer because they have like their corporate bit. They'll be I should imagine, as usual, not in a bad way, Mercedes will talk about some kind of diversity and equality and youth and things, but they might get the reveal done nice and early. McLaren tend to put on a bit of a show as well. Ferrari, I would imagine, will be a bit drawn out, but here we go. Here is Alfa Romeo F1 team stake. Stake being the new principal sponsor after Orlen have left. Now, I'm not even sure where this is. I've seen that geezer before. He's a bit of a presenter, isn't he? Andreas Seidel actually sat there as well on the left-hand side, just going out of shot. He's obviously the new... Is he the new CEO? Is that his title? Which is a very interesting move, and you'd want to say it's a move based on Audi, right? Why does it look like an episode of Kilroy? What a reference! What a reference! But I do have it muted, guys, just because I don't want to get done on any copyright. But there's Andreas. Look, he's going to get called up for a chat in a moment on the left. Honestly, I'm not sure. I don't recognise anyone else. Maybe they're factory team members and other management as well. I actually won't lie. I don't know those two. and the chap on the end there, I actually don't know. But they're obviously people to do with the ownership. I wonder if the lady on the end's to do with Sauber. I don't know, because Peter Sauber's not there, is he? I'm not sure of the structure there these days, because obviously it is still Sauber. I love how that blonde lass is on her mobile. Oh, I'm in shot. That was funny, just over his shoulder. She was sat there on a phone and then clearly was in shot, was like, oops. Hopefully it's not long and drawn out, though. But these do actually have a couple of announcements, don't they, with regards to sponsorship and changes and things like that, and a couple of blokes. I wouldn't, let's put a little bit of volume on.
We'll have you, Alessandro, gentlemen, please.
A little bit.
Join me at the table.
Can you guys hear that? Is that super loud? I might have to turn it down a little bit.
Well, that's a welcome. That's a bit of a rock star welcome for both of you.
It's Tom Clarkson. That's it.
New role, team representative. Tell us a little bit about it, and
team representative.
Kind of welcome everywhere you go. Everywhere you go now.
For sure, it's first time for me in this role.
Can you guys hear that?
I want to thank you first.
Or is it too low?
Group CEO Andrea Seidel, our shareholders. It's a very important day for us, the launch of the C43, and for me to be the team representative.
I mean, they're saying it's the launch of the C43, so
an honor to
quite low. I don't want it like really loud or anything. Let me know how this is.
All the people that has been working on this project.
Now we'll hear a little bit more about.
I just don't want to get done with like
busy winter, Alice.
I don't want to get done with like copyright or anything.
Can you just tell us a little bit about some of the new partnerships we have?
Of course, each winter we work
So this
hard,
chap's
to bring to the team.
This chap's the new representative.
Also to, I would say, change our style, our approach to be more fresh, more innovative. And this year we are really
that should be a lot louder.
On board new partners, starting from our co-title partner Stake. So the team will be named Alfa Romeo F1 Team Stake. We have a lot of partners that will create huge activations around our brand, our team, and our vision is to get closer to the fan. With all the partners, we want to really activate, to bring our team closer, to expand our audience. And we will start from today with this first official launch with all our members of the Sauber fan club. And this is the mood we want to have. Get on board, get closer, become part of our family, as a partner, as a fan.
The interesting thing...
The family at home. Welcome to you guys as well. Now, so much expectation and excitement surrounds the launch of a new car. Can we talk about goals? What would you like to see from the team this year?
We don't want to fix targets. It's always difficult ahead of a season.
Just real quick, I'm just going to mute it really quick there. Don't you think it's an interesting time for this team specifically? Because they know they're becoming Audi. They are becoming Audi. Is it this season, at the end of this season, or the end of next season that Alfa Romeo's sponsorship has been terminated from? So they cease to become Alfa Romeo, and I guess, unless they get another title sponsorship before Audi, they're going to revert to becoming Sauber again for a few seasons. It's just, this could be a really good way of Audi entering the sport with just more and more influence up to 2026, with just adding staff, adding money into facilities potentially, and ways of thinking, and moving those pieces on the board, if you like, up until Audi officially enter the sport. But really, I'd love to know, like now, behind the scenes, how Audi is it, because to me, Andrea Seidel go, oh, is that the car? They're just low-key showing it off now.
And then
what happened there?
The season, it also became relatively clear that we...
They just low-key... That was a new car. That was new. That wasn't the same as last year's car.
So
Did they just...
things we changed.
There it
On
is.
the car, but
Is that the
also
same?
internally in terms of
There it
processes
is, though.
to address that topic, because
That's
historically we were
different.
always
I
very
feel like
strong
that's
with the
different. Let me have a
availability.
look. Let
But,
me
last year somehow we lost a little
have
bit.
a look
what
here.
used to
I'm
be
trying
our
to
biggest
find
strength.
some
So
Abu Dhabi
it's clearly,
pictures
as
to
our
compare
service
against
said,
quick.
is one of the focus of or one of the area of major focus for us this last winter.
Yeah, and there have been a few regulatory tweaks over the winter. How much of a headache have
What
they been?
kind of launch is that?
I mean,
didn't-
we like change.
What's
so,
that?
It's
What's
a new,
going
it's
on?
always a new opportunity when
I
rules are
feel
changing.
like
We
I'm
were
looking at pictures now. I feel like they're showing us a new
irritated by
car.
the timing,
I
because it
feel.
was decided very late, and
I need to
usually
see
late
the
changes
roll hoop
are
structure
favoring
stuff.
bigger outfits, but the change are mainly on the floor side, where the FIA
Yeah, that's new. That's a new car. That is
it doesn't sound a lot, 15
What, can
millimeter,
I?
but that was enough
I don't think I can go back.
to keep us
That
scratching
is
our
a
head
new
and having
car.
to
Let
even
me
more
try. I'm trying to
floor and
just
the end of
confirm
the-
with
of
you
the
for
car
you guys.
alongside
The
the
floor's
rules,
different and
and,
stuff. It's
yeah,
got
I'm
way
pretty
more
happy about the
louvers down the
quality.
side of the floor.
Do you
That is a new
expect the
car.
field to close up this year? Alessandro has already spoken about
And
needing
the side
progress
pods,
from
the
team this year.
louvers,
If we do that,
the
do you
louvers
think
down
we
the
can,
side
progress up from sixth place in the Constructors' Championship?
the roll hoop structure down onto the side pods. The way that's all shaped is different to Abu Dhabi's car. So, and the side pods looked shaped differently. Let me just see if on Twitter they've released any images. Just give me a second, guys, because I'll try. No, they don't look the Ferrari route at all. They don't look the Ferrari route at all. They look like. I mean, I'm going to have to. I'm not seeing any actual screenshots yet.
Speculation. I mean,
But I'll keep as soon as I've got pictures, I'll show you them, guys.
Job during the winter and might have been able to do a bigger step than the rest of the field. But as of today, and then we can have a chat after.
The floor has got lots and lots and lots of flicks.
That will be a fierce battle.
It's a bit mad, isn't it, Glad? How they just these boys are just having a chat. Sorry if I know I'm talking over them, and I don't know if it's conflicting the audio. But I think we want to know about the car. I know.
6 or 7 teams all fighting over the same bit of asphalt. Let's hope that happens. Now, Jan, there is an old motor racing adage that a good-looking car is often a fast car. How good-looking is the C43 that we're about to see?
It's probably the worst person you're asking, because it's my baby and the baby. And I won't say it's ugly. I find the car well born. It looks mean. Not only the new geometries, but also the livery, which gives it an additional level of being mean. I find the car pretty sexy, but then again, will it be quick enough? This we will see start of the season. Our hopes are high that we can continue where we.
Isn't it amazing that all these teams make a brand new car? Like, it is a brand new car every season, and everything about it is prototype, and it's staggering, really.
We go step by step.
And they're so close, really. Even if one team walks away with it, they're actually really close, aren't they? It's crazy.
My team and me, we have a lot of boxes to tick, and then the week after we will go racing, and we will see.
Well, busy times ahead. I think the wait
Here we
is
go.
over. Ladies and gentlemen, let's find out just how beautiful the C43 is. And for this bit of the launch, I'm going to hand over to Lawrence Barretto.
And I'll try and tell you what's different as quickly as I
Thank you very
can.
much, Tom. Well, I'm here in the events
Look at
area
that.
of
Look at
Alfa
his
Romeo
tash.
F1,
I
and
love
by
Bottas.
Valtteri and
I don't know
Joe
what. I
for
just
the
love
unveiling
Bottas. I
of the
don't know why. I think he's
2023
brilliant.
Alfa Romeo Formula 1 Team Stakes C43.
I just think he's funny
Guys,
as
we're gonna
anything. I really do. What are you doing?
covers up
Don't
very,
you
very
dare buffer
shortly,
and
but
slow
before
down
we-
now. Why are you doing this now? Why are you doing this now?
Firstly, have you seen
Um,
the car yet?
not real life, but I saw some graphics. Looks pretty special, but yeah.
By the way, if you've not listened to the Beyond the Grid podcast, the Zhou Guan Yu one, or Guan Yu Zhou, I never know which way round his name is, and I mean no offence. If you've never listened to his Beyond the Grid, really good. Do listen to it. He's a good lad. He really is. I hope he does well in Formula 1.
Initially, obviously, what is interesting is to see the delivery in detail live, because in the pictures it's never quite the same. But then obviously you go more into the details.
Bottas has been in Australia all winter. He's been like embracing, I don't know what they call it, but like an Australian style. On social media, he has been brilliant all like Christmas, New Year period. Just absolutely brilliant. Just in Australia, living his life with a mullet and stuff. This is brilliant.
To have it, but before that we have plenty of sim work going on also to see the difference on the changes compared to the previous car. So it's always very exciting to see bringing new parts, new stuff, new upgrades, see how it goes on track. But yeah, livery, you always want to look racy, and that's I guess the first box ticked. So yeah, let's see how it.
Yeah, I've got a lot of time for Zhou, and I hope he does well.
All the rest of the world
I think he could be better, but
any longer. Let me just grab that microphone off you, and if you want to take your positions at the front of the car.
There we go then. So I've got an image up now, and I'll tell you, I can tell you what's different if it is a new car. It's lagging. It's not me, guys. I think it's people tuning in. Not much I can do about this. It's not me. Have they gone for the bare carbon? Laminated or whatever, you know. They have, yeah. Come on. Definitely not me. Come on, you ass. This is why you don't use some kind of really random partner for your streaming service. But I'll find it anyway on the internet immediately. There it is. Yeah, that's a new car. That's a new car. That is a new car, what we're seeing there. New front wing. The nose looks similar. The floor edges is something that has immediately jumped out to me. The floor edge has got, see, that's a different floor. What they're showing us there is a different floor to what we saw on that animation. That floor is a lot less detailed. It honestly is, than what we just saw on that animation. And I hopefully we'll get some screenshots and I'll be able to show you exactly what I mean. Because the floor had a lot of flicks and a lot of like, oh, maybe actually I can sort of see them. Maybe it just looks different from above. I'll try and get you.
I'll send these guys back to your way shortly for the rest of the official.
I'll try and get you a freeze frame of the top here. We've got, okay. Right. Let's have a quick look.
Isn't it a beauty?
So that floor there, now I don't know whether this is final, but that floor is definitely different. It's definitely different.
I'm running out of adjectives, but it really...
It's definitely different. I just want to check the knot.
Congratulations to the guys and girls at Centro Stile for their creativity and helping come up with that design. But look, now that we've seen the car, Jan, just a little bit more flesh on the bone, if we could, about some of its standout features. You mentioned earlier about focusing on the rear of the car. Is there anything more you can tell us about it?
Yeah, in effect, as I mentioned before, we decided to
show you this.
The rear axis, or redoing the rear suspension, and also therefore the gearbox casing, which then opens the door to new layouts, especially on the cooler side, which themselves, once in place, allowed us to develop the bodywork. As we've been doing, which last year during the season was not possible.
Yeah, they've changed the rear of the car substantially. substantially. Those side pods are very different, right? So what we can see here on the side pods, if you're interested, guys, we can see the downwash. That is a very Red Bull trait. We can see the down and in sort of route they've gone on the side pods there, right? And then you've got this sort of area here where they've got the rear suspension going into the gearbox, because they connect directly to the gearbox, right? And then this what do you call it, cowling, this fairing over here as well. And I'll show you now the difference between. So remember, we've got this downwash side pod here, yeah? And then if we go and have a look now at this, you can see last year's car simply doesn't have that as much. It just doesn't have that as much. It's much flatter. I think it did have somewhat of a downwash, but I think due to packaging reasons, they couldn't get it right. And you've heard the technical director there, he was just talking about they repackaged the rear of the car. And I think, look, I'm no expert. I think it's to create this downwash airflow as much as possible, as tight as possible in at the rear of the car, because, of course, with the ground effect cars that we've got now, it's very, very important, the air that goes under the car, the pressure differentials, and then out of the rear of the car, bringing that air down and really driving it down into this area. It accelerates it and it creates differential of pressure at the rear and sucks the car down to the track and things like that. And I think Alfa Romeo have really, really focused on that downwash at the rear. So that is very, very different. I'm going to keep trying to see if we've got any screenshots. Just give me a moment, guys. But that is, I don't know, did that make sense how I've just explained it? Here we go. I've got some screenshots now, guys. So we're all good. I'm literally just comparing. I know you can't see both. I would say, is that the same front wing? I'm trying to find a picture now. That looks like a similar front wing. I think that's a last year spec front wing. I think we may see different coming into the new season. I don't think that's new, honestly. Oh wow, that is a perfect shot, and I can give you a. You see what I mean now? You see what I mean? I immediately noted the floor edge. That is hyper aggressive. So what these are to do? These create vortices, and it creates just an air. I can't explain it. I'm not an aerodynamicist. I just get what it's doing. It's creating vortices at the floor edge, which flicks the air out like in a spiral off the side of the floor, and it moves air away from the rear tires, and it also creates like a suction from underneath the car at the sides. So that they've really aggressively worked that floor edge very aggressively with all of those flicks and louvers. That has had a lot of thought and a lot of work. I'm going to get you a side by side now, guys. Just give me a moment, because the difference is the word stack. I love new cars. I love new cars. Right, I've got a top down now. I'm trying to bring you it. Just give me a second. I'm trying to get you a proper top down.
We've yet to meet, and I think now is the time to meet people who are going to be driving
a decent contrast one.
Let's meet our hero.
Let me take a moment. I had a better picture a minute ago. You can't really see the floor on the one I've got, though. Just give me a minute. The straights, yeah. I'm gonna, just give me a moment. I'll bring it up on screen, guys. So burn that into your head, right? And then if
Heroes indeed.
Sorry, I'm literally working on this live.
Need very little introduction from me, but the man in the middle is clearly Valtteri Bottas, 10-time Grand Prix winner.
And then
on the right, as you look, we have Zhou Guanyu, and who can remember Zhou's amazing debut
this? So
in Bahrain
you've got that image in your head, yeah?
And
And then we're going to swap now to last year's car.
And vice champion in Formula 2.
And now you can see that floor is just nowhere near as aggressive as how I would term that. Look at the difference in floor. For a start, we're going to point out a few things. But that floor edge is so vastly different. It really, really is. That's crazy in its difference. And then, of course, as John has pointed out, look at the rear of the car. Look at the side pods. There isn't much downwash there. And you're really looking for the side pods to sort of come in and down towards the rear, because that profiles the air, again, down towards the rear of the car. So also the top, as you see where the exhaust comes out, where the 88 is there, the shape of all that area is just vastly, vastly different. And it's like, now what I would suggest is where it comes straight back to this bit beyond where the rear wing is, where it's coming straight back there, I honestly feel like that is a cooling option. I don't think that is like optimal setup, honestly. I really don't. I feel like that is a cooling thing. This is their Singapore cooling package. Maximum louvers on the top of the side pods there, maximum louvers on the top of the covering, and then maximum exhaust exit there for heat to escape. I think you will see that much, much tighter and sculpted in towards the rear. I feel that way about it. I think you'll see, because this, obviously, you've got the bottom sort of Coke bottle shape that goes in and under this straight angle that you've got coming off here. I think you'll see that sculpt in cooler races to draw. It draws air out of the engine. Yeah, exactly. I think they're showing you their maximum cooling. I mean, I don't know how hot it is in Bahrain. Maybe this is good to go to Bahrain. I'm not sure. But I think that's my assessment of that, because I think you'll see it come in more like you're seeing there a little bit. Just my opinion. Just my opinion. I think that it's representative, but that floor interests me deeply, because I think that's the first 2023 floor we've seen, and that is hyper aggressive. Hyper aggressive on the floor there. Livery floor. Honestly, I like the livery, but I haven't even noted the livery. I'm not going to lie. The livery is lovely and all, but you can really see now. You can really see now that downwash, and in fact, you can kind of see it's sculpted. More Alpine than Ferrari, but it looks like it's sculpted in, like from the outside and then in towards the center of the car. It's like it's sculpted in, and it's Ferrari-esque, but Alpine did this, where they created like a downwash gully almost at the back of their side pods last season, and to me it looks more. I know this might sound weird. It looks more Alpine than it looks Ferrari, in my opinion. The floor is it's all Vortices creators, and you've got the fences as well at the front of the floor there, which are the tunnels which bring the air and direct the air under the floor and out to the side. So these fences here that you can see, they bring the air down from the big sort of scoop, if you like, and they will work the air and shoot them out. Work the air and shoot it out the side, working in tandem with these like vortices creators on the edge of the floor. And this is all about stability and downforce, and where you're creating the downforce and the air. Now, back in, was it the 80s, 70s, when they had ground 70s, wasn't it? When they had ground effects before, they literally had side skirts, right? What they try and do now is work the air, right? They try and work the air, and as I was explaining before, to create these vortices right,
Who's
that
driving
are off the
car
side of the
first,
floor,
and how do you
and that
decide
creates
who
sort
gets
of
behind the wheel first? Is it
an
is it scissors?
artificial. It
What's the way
creates
How do you
sort of
decide?
I'm going to mute them
I mean,
because they're
it's
doing
the
my
team
editing
has their own
now.
decisions
It
about
creates sort of an artificial skirt, if you like. I don't know how else to explain it, guys. But you're creating sort of an air seal almost. It's not obviously sealed, but you're working the air, so it's creating these vortices down the side of the floor, and it creates sort of an artificial skirt so that the air can really shoot through and under the car. You are using some of it out the sides and whatnot, but I don't know if it's going to work. Like I say, I'm not an aerodynamicist, but that's my interpretation of what they've tried to do here. That it looks like they're very, very aggressively working the air down the edge of the car. And what we saw last season on like the Mercedes and things like that was more sort of wavy lines along the side of the floor. And this is just very, very aggressive, and super interested to see. The bodywork really is artwork. Actually creating the shape, symmetry is unbelievable. I agree. That's a rather large intake. A lot of air being passed through the engine covers. Yeah, I like I was just saying, I feel like all of the louvers, if you like, that we're seeing on top, I feel like this is the maximum cooling package that we're seeing. But as you're saying about the air intake, it's super interesting about this because they obviously we've got the new air intake roll hoop regulations this season, so they've got to be stronger and things like that. But these are split up just in case people don't know that you have say one going to the turbo area, you have one going to the engine, you have one going to the radiators, you'll have one going to the hydraulic system, and these aren't all routing to the same place, these air intakes. And even when you see one big roll hoop air intake, they're actually divided up inside, and what you'll find is you'll have the big air intake, and then maybe say you've got the air intake back here, inside, I guess, the spout of the air intake, it creates multiple entrances a bit down the air intake, and it splits it up and divides it, and then it sends it all around these different areas. I love this stuff because this is where I fully nerd out, and I forget really that I'm streaming because I'm just trying to share the knowledge that I have about F1 and the love I have for F1. Because, look, everything I've said won't be correct because I'm not an aerodynamicist, but that is my understanding of what we're seeing here and what we're seeing with that hyper-aggressive floor. Who have we got next up? We've got, on Monday, Aston Martin and McLaren. Aston Martin showed us stuff last season, so it'll be very, very, very interesting to see if we get any more from them this season, if we get something representative. But that is the first 2023 car we've actually seen so far, and it's brilliant to see the Alfa Romeo certainly have not stood still. They've changed a hell of a lot. I looking at it, I'd say they've really gone from the midpoint to the rear of the car. They've really looked at what they can do to maximize their downforce and what they can do with the ground effect after a year of understanding. And it'll be really good to see what the bigger teams arrive in Bahrain with. And of course, we'll just done some reading. The idea of edges is to create a vortex, 250 mil either side of the car. I mean, so it's almost as if I've read stuff. Yeah, I'm super excited now. This has hyped me for the new season because we've actually seen something new. Okay, it's nice to see new liveries, but it's when you see those new cars. Can we have some more likes on the stream? I think my analysis of that deserves some more likes, guys. 8 likes, come on now. I think this is your best destination for F1 content. I actually do. I mean that. But there we go. There is the Alfa Romeo 2023 contender. And we are actually seeing details of the 2023 car. Absolutely magnificent. Really, really good. Good to see some new stuff for 2023, and I hope they can be more competitive. Absolutely fantastic to see. Now, later on, there may be another video from the channel. I'm not sure. I've got one in the making already. But as always, I will be live in the morning with the latest F1 news at 9 a.m. So please do make sure you're subscribing down below as well. I think the only people who'd be able to correct you, if any, are aerodynamics people. Honestly, I feel the same, John. It's only because I'm such a fucking nerd about it. I love it. I absolutely love it, and I love to know how it all works and stuff. So I've just read a silly amount of stuff, right? I love it. But, and I think if you're into F1, it's good to know these things, right? I feel like it is anyway. But I will be live tomorrow morning with more F1 news. And of course, I will do my very best to bring you all of the car launches and my analysis of those as they happen, guys. Thanks a lot for joining me this morning. Really, really appreciate it. And I will see you very, very soon. Thanks a lot, guys. Bye-bye.